Well, it's been quite a while since we did a video, but winter is starting to come to an end, and we opened up Edna and checked things out. We were very pleased to find not a bad, moisture, wet smell, and we didn't really find any mouse problems, so we're excited about that. But it's kind of an okay day to work on inside things, and I thought this would be a good time to do some dome light repairs. So we've got our dome lights here on the driver's side and the passenger side. The lenses kind of fall out every once in a while, and so I got what I think is a perfect match. I'll put a link in the description for this. I think I got these on Amazon, but pretty easy thing to find. I think they were maybe $7 or $8 a piece, and it says that it is for a GM truck and looks very similar. The bigger problem, though, other than these things falling out every once in a while, is the light itself. So if we push it down, nothing. If we put it in the middle, nothing. If we put it up, it's kind of flickers and then comes on. So I think we've got kind of some wiring problems there. Sometimes it works better than other times. The down position, somebody commented that is actually the dome light. So if I come up here and turn the headlight switch to turn on the dome light, find the right one here, I can turn it on by putting it in the dome light position. So that was kind of a cool discovery when I found out about that. But I wanted to work on the switch also. And yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes I'm tapping on it, and it's a big pain. The passenger side has been working just fine. So if I put it in that up position, the dome light works. And then if I put it in the down position, so the middle is off, and then down, it comes on nicely. What's weird is the switch is opposite of the other one, right? So up is dome light, and on the other side, down is dome light. So I'm gonna see if maybe the wiring is backward or something. But in both cases, I got two of these lenses, so hope to replace both the lenses and do some wiring fixes. Okay, so I pulled off one of the covers here, and you can see the cover is cracked and broken and very brittle. I'm sure I can just, crack pieces off of this. Here's the new one, more flexible, kind of modern plastic, and it's a perfect fit. So I already put this one on, and it fits great. It even has the same little star pattern on it. And then here's the part number. It's a Dorman 74320. And again, I'll link this in the description of the video. Okay, so I pulled down this cover. This is the light and speaker. We put a LED light in here previous, just to give us a little bit better light. We've been replacing the lights with LEDs. And I thought, because this switch was backward from the other one, I would just maybe check the wiring and get it kind of going the same direction. So I pulled this down, and I'm not the first one here, obviously. So the connector on the back of this looks like it's been cut apart, maybe, or maybe it's a new type of connector that somebody used. There's also been a bunch of kind of wire crimps and redoing wiring here. There's some wires that are cut off. Don't know what these are. So, oh, you know what? These actually look like maybe the connectors that used to connect onto this. Yeah, I think they are, because these are kind of a little metal nub, and it looks like these probably would have like plugged onto that. So I'm going to need to do a little testing, figure out what's going on with the wiring here. There's also this dial thing. It looks like some kind of rheostat. It's got a resistor just kind of twisted onto it with disconnected wires. And going to the speaker, it appears. So I don't recall if the speaker was working or not. I thought it did, but I think obviously without the wires being connected, it probably doesn't work. So I may look at that a little bit while I'm in here, but it's going to take a little bit of figuring out to make sure that this is going to work for me going forward. All right, so I was looking at the wiring and the switch and found that the wiring looked okay. but I think maybe the problem was in the switch not making good contact. And so, like a lot of things on this old motorhome, the parts can be taken apart, cleaned, serviced to some extent, although finding parts can be hard. And on this, I did find there was some blackening on the contacts, and I think we might have been having a contact problem there. So I'm going to put it back together and kind of describe how I took it apart. It basically just all popped apart. But the parts here basically slid in like this, and the switch, now the thing to be careful about when you're taking it apart is this little spring-loaded part here. That puts pressure, oops, it just popped out. That puts pressure on the rocker switch inside there. And so when I was taking it apart, I had to be careful not to let everything kind of spring apart. But then put it in, and there's a little hole on the side here that rocker switch goes into. And then basically this other side slides on also to kind of hold it all together. And now you can see my switch rocks there again. And then it has these little metal clips on the end that hold it all together. And this is how I took it apart, is I just pried these little metal clips off. And then the switch tried to pop apart. I just was careful to take it apart slowly. And there we go. It's all back together. It's been cleaned. I think now it should make a little better contact, and hopefully that'll fix my problem. Maybe I'll still have some wiring problems, but I think that helped out. Okay, I've got everything working. I fixed the wiring on the passenger side, and I was talking about how one of the switches was up and the other one was down to turn them on. I don't know why I didn't notice this, but one side, the dome light was on the front and the speaker was in the back. The other side was opposite. And so the switches were wired in the right direction and order. At some point, one of them got turned around. So we looked at some pictures. We found that generally the dome light seems to be toward the front on these vehicles, and the speaker seems to be toward the back. So we set them both up that way, and worked on the wiring a little bit, cleaned the switch as I mentioned. Now when I push this down, it comes on very reliably and nicely. I put the new plastic lenses on both of these, and I think we've got it fixed. So now we've got dome lights that work reliably, and made some improvements to the wiring and the speaker working and all of that at the same time.